Before my conversion to Islam, I lived my life as a Jew. Although my family was not traditional, I learned Judaism from traditional Jews. I went to an Orthodox synagogue and to a Jewish school Orthodox. I lived and continue to live in a Jewish community in the United States, in which there is little diversity. And considering how much Judaism he was involved in my life, I had no non-Jewish friends. But about a year ago, I started chatting online frequently and my email contact list slowly started to get more and more full of Muslims. I developed a strong interest in studying other religions and also my own religion. I paid special attention to Islam, because I knew that it was not a religion very different from Judaism. Share many of the prophets, peace be upon them all, morals, values and, the more importantly, we worship the same God, Allah. Although I knew a lot about the Islam and that it was a peaceful religion, I can't say it didn't have stereotypes. I was lucky because I met many Muslims online, among them my girlfriend, one, who I consider my guide for Islam. She led me to the gates of Islam and Allah led me for the rest of the day. Path. I decided to go deeper into my faith. In doing so, I discovered fault with my own religion. According to the Old Man Testament, the great prophet Aaron committed the worst possible sin. Due to the pressure placed on him by the people as they waited for Moses to return with the Torah from Mount Sinai, he built an idol. As a great prophet could commit one of the three sins that are so great that one would prefer death before of committing them? In the Quran, Moses descends and sees the Jews worshipping the calf of gold. At first he thinks it is Aaron's creation and he gets angry with him. Then he discovers that other Hebrews had created the idol. Much can be learned from this history. A nation of one-led people, would God really be forgiven for such a sin? My view on this history is in keeping with the Islamic view that the Old Testament was changed over the years. In the past there were Kohanim, religious leaders in the Holy Temple, who were corrupt. It would not be possible for them to have easily changed Judaism to facilitate and reduce the time of its observance to earn more money with their professions. Another surprising factor that led me to Islam was the scientific truth written in the Quran. The Quran mentions human embryonic development long before it was discovered by science. We created man of the essence of clay. Then we made it a drop of sperm, which we inserted into a place insurance. So we convert the drop of sperm into something that sticks to. We turn the clot into a fetus and convert the fetus into bones. After we have clothed the bones with flesh, then we develop it into another creature. Blessed be God, Creator par excellence. Quran 23:12-14. The Quran also mentions how mountains are formed and speaks on the layers of the atmosphere. These are just a few of the many discoveries scientific studies mentioned in the Quran 1,400 years before they were discovered by the science. Here you are one of the key factors that led me to explore my heart to discover the truth of life. In Arabic, the word Islam comes from salama, which means, if submit, purity, and peace come from the same root. One submits to Allah, the One, the Merciful and the Gracious, while other religions have their names taken from people. Judaism comes from the tribe of Judah, Christianity comes from Jesus Christ, etc. Islam is a word derived from a verb. Anyone who submits Allah and believe in all the prophets is a true Muslim. Many of the great prophets mentioned in the Old Testament lived before Judaism and Judah, submitted to God and were therefore all Muslims. And we must live as the prophets lived, because they were great human beings. Considering my situation of being very young and living in an all-Jewish area, it would be difficult for me to have my accepted beliefs. My parents and relatives are very respectful, but not I am sure how they would react if their own son reverted to Islam. So for now I am not able to live an Islamic life fully, but thanks to Allah I am able to pray 5 times a day, study Islam online and, at least, I can believe in God openly and express these feelings. In certain respects it can be very difficult. I became more emotional than most of people when I debate something involving Muslims, for example the East Medium. When I talk about Israel, my whole family supports Israel and doesn't know what it is. True of what is happening with the Palestinians, but I think they must have an appropriate treatment for Palestinians. And when they talk about this situation, I am easily offended, especially if they raise the idea that it is the earth Jewish saint and promised land. How I didn't tell my parents about my reversion to Islam. I cannot attend prayers in the mosque. How I said before, my area has little diversity and all the mosques are far. I never had the opportunity to do the Shahada in front of witnesses, too, although I said the Shahada to the best witness of all, Allah. When I'm 16 in about a year, I'll be able to drive to the mosque, inshallah, God willing. The most important thing is to perfect the person that I am. I try to avoid my friends who do drugs, watch pornography, consume alcohol and steal. It's not always easy to avoid close friends, but I try to the utmost by Allah. And I hope that with the passage of time my personality achieve what Allah expects of all of us. By studying the Quran, my advice for you is to read for yourself. Searching in biased websites you won't be able to see the full content of a verse. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Throughout all this experience I discovered that I did not find Islam, I embraced Islam again. Islam. Nor did I convert, I reverted, and on my journey from darkness to light, I became stronger, more spiritual, and a better human being. May Allah guide all of us to the truth we have been guided. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulu Allah.